Hello, and welcome to the level guide for R5C2. Let's get started by talking about loadouts. For those of you doing the main objective, you're going to want to bring a bio tracker, a mine deployer, a sniper sentry, and an auto sentry. For those of you doing the extreme and or overload objective, I recommend that you take a bio tracker and 3 sniper sentries. The extreme objective is a reactor sequence and there is only 1 blood door and 1 alarm door, so mines and C-foam aren't particularly useful. The overload objective is much like the extreme objective from B3. It is one giant S1 scan that lasts 4.5 minutes and it will continuously spawn enemies the entire time. This makes C-foam almost entirely worthless, and this makes mines really ineffective once the first set goes off. One of the main things you're going to have to worry about during the main objective is 2 different surge alarms. So things like the pistol, machine pistol, and DMR are really good for staggering enemies and keeping them off of you while you're scanning. On that same note, special weapons like the machine gun, combat shotgun, and both hell variants are very good at killing swarms of enemies as they try to get to your team. If you're doing the extreme and or overload objective, there are going to be lots of hybrids, big enemies, and bosses that are going to be coming after you. So things like the hell rifle and combat shotgun are very good at dealing with the big enemies, and things like the sniper rifle and the shotgun are good at dealing with big enemies and the bosses. Starting off in Zone 211, you will see that your main objective is to locate 5 power cells and bring them back to the generator cluster located inside of Zone 212. Inside of Zone 211 itself, you will find your security door to Zone 212, and you will also find a blood door to Zone 218. Along with that, you'll be able to find your bulkhead door to Zone 396, along with your bulkhead door controller for the extreme objective and your bulkhead key. This zone will also always have 1 scout inside of it, and for resources you'll be looking at 3 uses of medkits and 2 uses of ammo kits. Once you've cleared out the zone and gotten your resources and bulkhead key, pull the door to Zone 212, do the team scan, and head on into that zone. Inside of Zone 212 you will be able to find your generator cluster along with 1 scout. There is also going to be 2 different alarm doors on the north and south side of the zone that you're going to need to do. Both of these alarm doors are going to be Class 4 S1 alarms, and you'll be able to find a cell behind each of them. For resources, you'll be able to find 1 use of medkits and 2 use of ammo kits. If you do the south alarm door first, the enemies will be able to spawn here and here, and if you do the north door first, the enemies will be able to spawn here and here. Because the enemies can spawn in the same room as the alarm scans, whatever room you're not in, you need to make sure that this door is closed and this door is open. Whenever you're ready, go ahead, pull the alarm door, complete the scans, head over to the second room, pull that alarm door, complete those scans, and head on into the zones. Inside of zones 213 and 214, you will see almost every single enemy is a big enemy, such as a big shooter or a big striker. You will also be able to find your cell and a 3-use ammo kit. Additionally, almost every single locker and storage box that you open will contain either a C-foam grenade, C-foam trip mine, or explosive trip mine. You want to save one of these explosive trip mines for the main objective, and if you're doing the extreme objective, you're also going to want to save a second one. For all the C-foam stuff, if you're doing the main objective, you can burn it on alarm doors as you see fit. But if you're doing the overload objective, you're going to want to save at least 2 C-foam trip mines and at least 1 C-foam grenade. And if you're doing the extreme objective, you're going to want to save at least 1 C-foam grenade or trip mine. Once you put in both the cells inside of the generator cluster, head back over to the blood door found in Zone 211, put a trip mine on it. Whenever you're ready, go ahead, pull the blood door, clear out the enemies, and head on into Zone 218. Inside of Zone 218, there are no resources, but there is going to be 1 cell, as well as your bulkhead controller for the overload objective. Bring the cell back to the generator cluster, and if you aren't doing the overload, skip to this timestamp on screen now for the extreme objective, and if you're only doing the main objective, skip to this timestamp on screen right now. Everybody else, check your bulkhead key in, do the team scan, and get ready to head on into Zone 480. Inside of Zone 480, you will see that your objective is to enter in the backdoor command, open security doors. Doing so will activate a full team scan in front of the terminal, and upon completion will turn the entire room into a giant S1 scan that lasts for 4.5 minutes. For resources, you'll be able to find 6 uses of medkits, 16 uses of ammo packs, and 4 uses of tool refill kits. You can save your seafoam trip mines to either place under the tanks when they spawn in, or you can place them high up on the pillars so they will freeze any big enemy that tries to run at you. You're going to be defending from the middle of the room, so you want to place sentry guns facing the north, west, and south security doors. Your biotracker isn't going to have enough time to ping every enemy, so everyone needs to be listening to see where the enemies are spawning from. Once everyone is ready, go finish the team scan and start the alarm. It's going to spawn continuous waves of chargers, big chargers, hybrids, and big strikers. At around 40%, there is going to be a tank that spawns in, there's going to be a second tank that spawns in at around 70%, and at around 95%, it's going to spawn a mother. These percentages are just estimates. Depending on where the enemy spawns and how fast they decide to path into the room, it is going to vary, so expect about a 5% degree of variance. When the first tank spawns in, send 3 players off to go hunt it down and kill it, and have 1 player continue to stand in the middle and just focus on killing all of the normal enemies that spawn in. Once you kill the tank, regroup in the center by the sentry guns, and get ready for the next one to spawn in. When the second tank spawns, do the exact same thing. Have 1 player focus on killing all the normal enemies and have the other 3 go and hunt down the tank. Once you kill the second tank, everyone should just pick a corner to hide in and kill all the remaining enemies as they come to you. Once the mother spawns in, you're going to want to have a seafoam grenade on standby for when she turns the corner to you. She can't spawn babies if she doesn't have line of sight to the players, so just wait for her to come to you, seafoam her, and then kill her. Once you've dealt with all of the enemies, head over to the east security door that they spawn behind. There should be a locker in there that will have your bulkhead key in it. If you're doing the extreme objective, go throw the bulkhead key on in there and get ready to head on into zone 396. If you aren't doing the extreme objective, you can skip to this timestamp on screen now to see your main objective. Zone 396 will only have a couple handfuls of enemies, and there will be a warden door in the back with a full team scan to go into Zone 397. Do the full team scan once you clear out the room, and behind the door you'll be able to find 1 scout and a high likelihood of anywhere from 2 to 4 big enemies. You'll also be able to find 14 uses of medkits, 16 uses of ammo kits, and 9 uses of tool refill kits. Once you've gotten all your resources, and you've put a mine on the blood door that you can see in this zone, go ahead and do the team scan in front of the terminal to start the reactor sequence. For this reactor, you want to avoid using sentries on the first 2 waves, as you can hold up on this ramp by the bulkhead door, and if you have hell weapons, it makes it pretty easy, as you can just overpen everything that tries to walk through the door. The first wave is not going to have anything special, and once you complete it, it is going to give you the code for free. The second wave is almost exactly like the first wave. There's just going to be 2 hybrids that spawn in during it, but once you finish that, there is going to be a security door all the way on the north side of the zone. There is a mini stealth scan you have to do to open it, and then once you do that, go ahead into the zone to find your terminal. Every single zone in this reactor is only going to have 2 terminals in there, so you can find them pretty easily if you know where they are. I'm going to leave this map on screen right now, so if you need to pause and come back to this at any point, this is a map where every single terminal location is. Once you've gotten the code from your terminal, you can start looting for resources. In this zone, you'll be able to find 3 uses of medkits, 7 uses of ammo kits, and 3 uses of tool refill kits. Once you've gotten all your resources and you're ready to put in the code for the reactor, you want to make sure that these 2 doors on the map are closed, because you're going to be hiding in this room right here for the rest of the reactor waves. Put your sentries on the opposite side of the hallway facing you, and just hold tight and kill stuff as it comes to you. Enemies are still going to be trickling in at this point, so have 2 people go towards the next zone, being 399, and have 2 people stay back and defend until the music turns off and you're absolutely sure that all the enemies are dead. Inside of zone 399, you're probably just going to want to shoot everything, because there's going to be a bunch of giants and you not really have a bunch of time to stealth kill them. But you are going to be able to find 5 uses of medkits, 9 uses of ammo kits, and 3 uses of tool refill kits. Once you've gotten your code and cleared out the rest of the zone, you're going to want to start looting for resources, and you want to also make sure your sentries are topped up on ammo, because from here on out, every single wave is going to contain hybrids and there's going to be a lot of them. Once your team is ready, put the code in, go back to the safety hole, and clear out the next wave. You want to make sure that everybody stays behind and clears out the rest of the enemies this wave because you've already cleared out the next zone. Once you make sure all the rest of the enemies are dead and the music is off, you have a class 4 alarm that you need to do. As long as these 3 doors are closed, the enemies will always go through this top door here. So whenever you're ready, go ahead, pull the alarm door and complete the scans. Do keep in mind that this is a charger alarm, so every single enemy in this alarm is going to be a charger. Once you've killed off all the remaining alarm enemies, go head on into zone 400. Every enemy inside of zone 400 is going to be a charger, and there's also going to be one charger scout. A weapon like a hell rifle or a sniper rifle can one-shot it to the back, so normally it's just easiest to shoot it and deal with whatever's left in the room. Once you've gotten your code, you can start looking for resources. You'll be able to find 6 uses of medkits, 7 uses of ammo kits, and 3 uses of to refill kits. Once you've gotten your resources, put in the code, and then it's back to the safety hole to deal with the next wave. Once you finish that wave, you have to go through the blood door, but the blood door is locked by a keycard, and you will find this keycard in zone 402, which is on the opposite side of the main zone. Behind this door is a tank and 3 big chargers. It is a scream door, so they will all be instantly aggroed upon opening it. Have 3 players focus on killing the tank and the big chargers, and have 1 player go into the zone the tank was in to find the keycard. You don't get a lot of time to do this, so as soon as that person finds the keycard, regardless of if the tank is dead or not, they need to go to the blood door and open it and solo it if they have to. You can preemptively place sentry guns in front of the blood door along with the mine you placed earlier to help the person that has to solo the blood door. You're not going to have a lot of time left, so get to those terminals as fast as you can. If you have to repeat the wave, don't sweat it. You get more than enough ammo to do it. If you don't think you're going to have enough time, just let the wave pass and go back to the safety hole and repeat the wave. You will not have to kill the tank or do the blood door again. You just need to find the terminals if you have to repeat the wave. Once you put the code in, it's back to the safety hole for the last wave. This wave is going to be a little bit different because near the end of it, there is going to be a mother that spawns in. This is why you needed to save either a seafoam grenade or a seafoam trip mine. When there's about 40 seconds left in the wave, you can have everybody go hide behind this sheet of glass right here until the mother comes. Once she turns the corner, you can seafoam her and bum rush her and just shoot her till she dies. If she takes forever to get over to you guys, the sentry guns might actually be able to do damage to her before she turns the corner, which will help kill her faster. When she gets over to you, throw your seafoam grenades at her, but be wary because jumping, sprinting, or falling off of anything will instantly throw your grenade without you having control over it. Once you kill the mother, head back into the room that had the tank in it. On the far east side, there will be another security door that has a mini stealth scan. Behind this door, there is going to be 2 different charger scouts. Honestly, it's easiest to just shoot one of them, and if they're both in the same room, you just deal with the scout wave that follows. You want to get the terminal code as fast as possible because as soon as you put in the last code, the reactor will turn off and you'll be as free to take as much time as you want to grab resources and get anything else that you missed. Once you've gotten all the excess resources, head on back to the main objective. I am going to give a disclaimer here though. For some reason, this reactor likes to have a very large variance between the amount of resources that are in each zone, so what I say in this video might not be as accurate as it has been before. And finally, you can find your bulkhead key inside zone 402, which is the room that had the tank in it. Heading on into zone 215, you'll be able to find 5 scouts in this zone, so be really careful when clearing it out because if you set off one, odds are they're going to spawn next to the other scouts and set them off too. You're also going to be able to find a cell, and 3 uses of ammo kits, and 3 uses of a disinfect pack. Once you clear out the zone and get your resources, grab the cell and bring it back to the generator cluster and chuck it in there. You'll be able to find your last cell behind the door to 216. This is going to be a class 5M alarm, and it's also going to be a shadow alarm, so every single enemy is going to be a shadow. Your floor plan is going to look like this, with the enemies being able to spawn here or here, and they will break down these 2 doors to get into your room. A couple of things to note about this alarm. It is a mixed alarm, meaning that the last scan is going to be an S1 scan, so everyone on your team has to be alive when you're finishing it, and also sentries aren't going to be terribly effective. Because they are shadows, sentries will only shoot them if they are tagged by the biotracker. Once you finish the scan, clear out the rest of the enemies and get ready to head on into zone 216. Inside of Zone 216, you'll be able to find your last cell, but keep in mind that every single enemy in this zone is going to be a shadow, and you'll also be able to find 2 shadow scouts. One helpful thing with dealing with shadows and stealth is that because sentries will only shoot them while they're tagged by the biotracker, you can use the sentry laser to actually detect and see shadows without waking them up. If you are going to do this with the sentry guns, you need to remember that they are still going to shoot the shadow scouts if they are pinged, and that the sentry laser does offset the actual shadow's position a lot, so you shouldn't try and use this to precisely detect where a shadow is. Hop on your terminal and find your cell, and while you're there, ping your resources because you'll be able to find 4 uses of medkits and 4 uses of ammo kits. Putting the last cell into the generator cluster is going to trigger a class 4 alarm, so this is what the floor plan is going to look like. The enemies will be able to spawn behind any of these zones. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and put in the final cell. The alarm will start automatically as soon as the lights turn back on. Finish the scans, and clear out the rest of the enemies. Once you finish the alarm, you'll see that the door to Zone 219 has been unlocked. This zone was previously in lockdown, and if you're looking around enough earlier, you might have seen on the opposite side of that door is the alarm door to Zone 217. I do not know why this alarm door exists. It functionally serves the exact same purpose as 216. It just makes the rest of the level harder because not only is it a harder alarm, it's going to make the following alarm, being a class 3 surge, harder because the enemies spawn closer to you. After you have successfully ignored the alarm door to Zone 217, you can get ready for the alarm to 219. Your floor plan is going to look like this, with the enemies being able to spawn here, and this is going to be a class 3 surge alarm. Because it's a surge alarm, keep in mind that the enemies are going to be nearly at spawn cap the entire time, and every single scan is going to be a full team scan. Whenever you're ready, go ahead, pull the alarm door, survive the onslaught of enemies, and finish the scans. Heading on into Zone 219, you'll be able to find a large quantity of giants and hybrids, but that's all that's really special about this zone. For resources, you'll be able to find 6 uses of medkits, 4 uses of ammo packs, and 6 uses of tool refill kits. Your alarm door to Zone 220 is going to be a class 4 surge alarm, and behind this door is going to be your extraction. Your floor plan for the alarm is going to look like this. The enemies are going to be able to spawn behind this door, and you want to leave this and this door open and close all of the other ones. This will funnel all the enemies through this one hallway, so place all of your sentry guns there to gun them down as they come into the room. Whenever you're ready, go ahead and pull the alarm door, complete the scans, and kill off all the remaining enemies. Behind your extraction door, there is going to be 2 scouts and a mother. This is more intimidation than anything else. You can ignore all of these enemies if you so choose. You can just C-foam the mom if you have any left over, and just go into the extraction scan. Even if you don't have C-foam, the scan only takes about 20 seconds to complete, so as long as your team doesn't wipe to babies during those 20 seconds, you'll be fine. But once you finish your extraction, you will have beaten R5C2. Due to the nature of RNG, enemy and resource numbers may be off by plus or minus 1, but for the most part it should be what I show here. With the exception of the extreme objective in this level in particular, it seems to be a lot buggier than the other ones, and the variance is way off the charts. So that might be inaccurate, I'm sorry if it is. Outside of that, I've really got nothing else. Leave a comment if you think I missed something, and you guys have fun.